Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Southern Cross Dota presentation. We'll be bringing you the qualifier for the semi-finals of the Tides Wrath tournament. Not sure if it's upper or lower. Rag will tell me in a second. My name is Cold Blood from GameStar, and joining me will be Ragnarok. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Yourself? And as for the game that's going, this is Young Money Club versus Azure. They are battling out to see who goes through to the semi-final of the lower bracket right now. And the winner of that will go through to face the loser of Hans Reborn and Can't Say Wisp, which the game is going. I'm not sure if it's over yet or not, but it was going over on our live stream #1. But as you said, we are into the draft here for this game. Big pressure. Whoever loses this best of 3 here will get knocked out of this competition, and the bans are already away, and we do have a Lich as well as a Bounty Hunter ban, as well as Elder Titan and Weaver. Bounty Hunter's a little surprising out of that, but I mean, usually not our first tier ban, but we do have plenty of others that we usually see. The Lich, the Elder Titan, as well as the Weaver, all very, very strong heroes, especially with the latest patch update. And speaking of strong heroes, Crystal Maiden being picked up. Since the change to Tranquil Boot, she has become a very, very strong hero, and a winner of Visage coming from Azure.
So you don't often see Visage picked up, probably more often since the patch a couple weeks ago.
Oh no, you do.
Oh, okay. Well,
you definitely do.
I mean, like, he normally gets banned out.
Oh yeah.
I've seen him banned a lot.
There was only a couple of little nerfs that came down with Visage. I mean, like, he doesn't have the standard 25% magic resist anymore because of that Gravekeeper's Cloak. It gives him so much ridiculous magic resistance to come up, but basically it's gone down to 10%. So basically, what it does is come up. When he levels it up, he comes up to 26% magic resistance. So he's not getting the 25 plus the extra 16. He's got 10 now plus the extra. So he can be burst down with magic very early on a lot easier.
Radiance ban.
Okay,
But still, with the familiars, with that soul assumption, the range and the damage that comes out from that, he's just still a ridiculously strong support.
Okay, and he will be going with the Windrunner in the trial lane, or we could see the off-lane Windrunner. Timbersaw going to be picked up by YMC 2.0 apparently. Timbersaw, very strong off-laner with the reactive armor, able to deal with... We've been seeing a lot of the 2-1-2 by some teams, and it's been largely unsuccessful. So I have to see if these guys decide to go for that. They're quickly going through the bans. Marana, Nyx Assassin banned out by YMC, Storm Spirit and Tinker banned out from Azure. So they're kind of banning these global presences out, or, you know, at least they become quite global. And Invoker going to be locked in, so he's very exciting in the mid lane. We'll have to see what YMC decide to go for.
Yeah, the Nyx Assassin, still a very strong support. I mean, he's had buffs and nerfs here and there throughout, like, the last few patches, but he's still one of those very annoying heroes. Unless you always have sentries down when you're making a push in the mid lane, he can just basically walk out Vendetta with a stun and then spike Carapace, so no one else can really touch him. And it's one of these things that can do a lot of damage and just quite annoying to deal with, as well as Marana. Marana with her ultimate. Lunar Shadow, I think it's called, Midnight Shadow. Just the whole team goes invis, and it just sets up ganks, and it's not a revealing invis like Smoke or anything like that. So they can basically walk up right next to whoever they want to gank, and just all of a sudden all pop out from nowhere. Storm Tinker, strong mid heroes, basic banouts coming out from here, but the pickups Invoker, Naga Siren, and Batrider. Azure picking up the Invoker and Batrider. Invoker, the latest changes to him, where his EMP now steals mana and gives it back to him. Sort of one of these things that I've really wanted to see go in game. Unfortunately, the games I have casted, we've mainly seen an Exord Invoker, and I really want to see this Quaswex Invoker come out, as well as a Batrider, great initiator, still ridiculously good, and Naga, a ridiculous support with the lockdown, with the burst damage and the armor reduction from Riptide, and the no fun Song of the Siren, just to restart team fights.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, between the Naga Siren and the Crystal Maiden, both their W's on the one target, they're going to be locked down for a very long time, so we could see some early aggression come out from that if they manage to get the right situation going. Outworld Devourer going to be the other pickup for Young Money Club, going to be very strong against the Invoker pickup, and, well, pretty much the whole team at the moment, a lot of them being intelligence-based. Now we're up to the last bans of the teams. Reserve time going to be called in by Azure. There was a reduced time for YMC because they turned up late. But we've been rocketing through the bans and picks, so they don't really need the reserve time. What are you thinking about these last few bans, Rags? As far as I can see, we need a carry for Azure, and for YMC we need either a carry or a mid.
Yeah, Zua. It's one of these really funny ones because we do already have two mid heroes, and two very strong mid heroes with the Invoker, with the Bat Rider. Invoker does play a little more passively, just because he doesn't have the same right click damage early on. But he's just one of these heroes that can take the mid lane, take it really well, and he's not really all that bottle dependent. So he can come out well on top of that lane, especially with the Exhort. If he gets a few levels up in that, his right click damage does become quite intense. As it goes for Bat Rider, one of these very, very aggressive mid laners. I mean, Sticky Napalm, Lasso, once he hits level 6, it's usually a kill somewhere on the map, just basically because he can Lasso and beat the crap out of anyone he wants to. And on the side of Young Money Club, I'm not sure whether they need a mid laner or if they actually need some sort of hard farming carry, because we have seen Outworld Devourers go as that hard farming carry on quite a few occasions. But he's also an amazing mid, especially if someone like Invoker or Bat Rider goes into that mid lane, because the Astral Imprisonment can just take away so much of their mana and they can't spam as much as they really would like to. So I've got a funny feeling that it will be... Well, it's unsure. That Windrunner is the one that's throwing me off for Azure, because it's a support Windrunner, they're looking for a carry. If it's an offlane or a farming Windrunner, they're looking for another support. Whereas if you flip over to Young Money Club, it looks like they're looking for either a number 1 or 2 slot, the carry or the mid lane. Definitely. They've got their 2 supports, they've got an offlaner in Timbersaw, and they're just looking for something else.
Well, Nakes was the ban out from Azure, so it looks like they're expecting a carry pickup. They don't want the Nakes who can drain tank, go magic immune, and becomes very strong later on. If I had to guess for YMC, I was going to say, well, I guess Viper can be either, so pretty decent ban out from them, kind of covering all their bases. We'll have to see what Azure decide to go for now. I was going to say something, but I've forgotten.
Who you thought? Who you thought was going into the lane?
Yeah,
Who you thought they were going to pick up?
I expect with the Windrunner, I'd expect it to go support just because if Naga Siren and Crystal Maiden, as far as I know, Frostbite and Ensnare have reasonably similar cast ranges. So
it's 8 seconds all up.
Yeah, Shackle Shot from the Windrunner could stun them both for a very long time, because they're probably going to approach a target at the same time. And Kunk's going to be the pickup for...
No, it is a support Windrunner.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely will be a support Windrunner.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say, Rags. I'm looking forward to some awesome Sunstrikes out of the Invoker. There was a game it might have been with you, I'm not sure, it might have been with Hawks, where someone tried to TP out and they got out with 1 health, right, like teleported to their fountain into a Sunstrike, and it was awesome. So I'm looking forward to some more plays like that.
Standard play. Standard play from Invoker.
Oh, it was exciting for a noob like me.
Any good Invoker anyway, standard play. But we will be seeing a Windrunner support coming off here. Invoker, Batrider, Kunkka, all 3 of these heroes can actually go into a mid lane. So it's going to be interesting. Batrider, I've got a funny feeling, will definitely be the off lane in this situation, but it's the toss-up between the Kunkka and the Invoker, who will actually be in that mid lane. Because the Kunkka with his Tidebringer, that cleave damage that can come out, can be quite devastating to any hero, especially someone like OD, who really doesn't have the best strength from level 1 or level 2 until he gets a couple of items up. But here we go, the Gyrocopter, that's going to be the hard farmer, so it's most likely going to be an Outworld Devourer going into the mid lane, and it's going to be interesting to see who picks up what on the Azure side, to see who's going into that mid lane.
Yeah, well, we are finally into the game now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go through both of the teams. So, YMC, who are the lower seed of these two teams, to see who goes into the semis. Representing them tonight in this first game will be Eminem on the OD. On the Timbersaw, we will have you, Triple Dot. I thought it was Quadra Dot, but it's not. On the Crystal Maiden, it will be An Honor to Fight Me. Pretty awesome name. We'll have to see if he can get the roaming on with the Trank Boots. Stand-in K Feeney on the Gyro, and rounding them out will be Jul Jan Jen on the Naga Siren.
Just to make life interesting, and we'll head over to the Azure side. We have Stu Situ, he will be playing on top of that Bat Rider. The Narcotic will be playing the Kunkka. Windrunner is going to be played by Mega. I'm just going to call him Mega because
Megalomania, something like that.
Megalomania, yeah, something else. So I'm just going to call him Mega. Miguel is going to be playing on top of that Invoker, and we will have Citrus the Great is going to be playing on that Visage. Early ward's already coming out. It looks like warding is already going down in that top lane by Young Money Club. Looks like they're wanting to try and see whoever's hanging around here. They can see the Bat Rider just right now hanging out very, very close in that little mid lane. And you see the Crystal Maiden and Naga just sitting there waiting for him to walk in. And here he comes. He comes down. The pings come out, but he just walks straight back away. And the Naga and Crystal Maiden unsure. So it looks like an aggressive tri lane coming up from a Young Money Club with K Feeney sitting on top of that gyrocopter right now. And it looks like we have a little bit of a bait and switch as well. We've got a 2-1-2 lane. We have an Invoker coming up. Yeah, Invoker's coming up to the top lane. It looks like that Bat Rider's going to be sitting in the jungle. Kunkka sitting in the mid lane against the Timbersaw. And down on bottom lane, we're going to have an actual farming Windrunner with the support of the Visage going up against the Outworld Devourer.
Okay, so definitely showing what we know. The Astral Imprisonment going off. Already a lot of damage going on to Eminem. I don't think he's going to fall, but he's going to get fairly close to it. He has picked up that Null Talisman for himself. In the mid lane, like you said, Kunks versus Timbersaw. It looks like a lot of damage going down on Narcotic early, but he did get a Tango shared with him. That might have been from Situ, so good guy coming down, passing on his tangos. And a 3v1 in the top lane. I'm sure Miggle will be getting a lot of support from the Bat Rider. Looks like Crystal Nova going to go onto Miggle for now, and he'll take some auto harass. Not taking too much damage, though. He does have the Quas element, which gives him health regeneration, and he has a lot of attributes with the Iron Branches and the Tango, so he'll be alright for the time being. It's just a matter of how zoned he is going to be. Currently has no last hits on him, whereas Gyro's sitting with 5.
Yeah, we do have a Bat Rider down here at the moment. It looks like he's pulled the lane over. He's also pulled the other creeps, so he's got to manage to get a couple of them to come down. He is trying to Firefly, get the experience to go down. Invoker just denying off creep there, but all three of them have now come down. And we do have Bat Rider. He has been netted up, and the Rocket Barrage is going off. Creep Wave has just managed to make it there in the right time. Bat Rider in a little bit of trouble, but he is coming back in to try and help out. We do have Miguel, who is trying to right-click down as best he can, but he has gone that Quas build, so he does not have the best of the right-click damage right now. It's going to be very hard for him to farm, even farm under tower. Like, you have a look at that. One right click to help out, and 2 tower shots. He still wasn't able to get the last hit there at all. Should be able to get that one. Yeah, there we go. So, having a look, going around the map at the moment, we do have, does look like Timbersaw's leading the charge, as well as the Windrunner, both sitting on 12 CS. Gyrocopter only has himself 8 right now. Kunkka 8, and Invoker only has that 1 last CS, the same as the Outward Devourer. So, very even going around everything at the moment. I mean, when it comes down to it, lanes are pretty even. Like, their offlaners aren't getting much, and the farming heroes are supposed to be getting what they're getting.
Yeah, well, fair enough. So I am expecting to see more aggression come out of the top lane for YMC with the has the Frostbite been picked up? It has indeed. I think it was a really nice cold snap out of Miguel to get the aggression off of Situ, and it looks like Citrus the Great on the Visage is going to come up and give him a little bit of a hand. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like the smoke is going to be popped, and they could have some roaming down to the mid lane. I don't believe there's an observer ward, so they won't be spotted. And we'll have to see if Kunk, what is he going to get? He's going to pass off his bottle to the courier, so he doesn't have anything. He could potentially be going down here as the Frostbite goes out. Crystal Nova's going to go, and he's definitely going to fall here. An honor to fight me on Crystal Maiden, picking that one up.
Yeah, first blood going there, a good gank, nice smoke gank going out there straight away. They did it right behind the tower. They dropped a sentry just in case to make sure they weren't being watched right behind the lane, and they were able to pick up that first blood in the mid lane by Kunkka. Luckily, that courier managed to get out of there just in the nick of time, but Kunkka now going to teleport back into that lane, has a full bottle once again, and is going to have to have a little bit of a makeup coming up right now. And there we go, Torrent goes off. He manages to get the Timbersaw does throw him up into the air, and Timbersaw will pick himself up a haste rune up on top with the help of his support. But a soul assumption going out on top, and Naga nearly falling to that, not quite. But it does look like Timbersaw's going to try and make use of this. Pops it straight away, and no, they were backing off, so he's not going to be able to pick up any kills there.
Okay, so it looks like that Quaz Works build you were talking about is going to come out of Miggle, and he does have the Tornado at the moment. Was very nice play from the roaming support, so on Honor to Fight Me, and the Naga Siren played by Jewel Jan Jan. I'm going to call him Jewel from now on. They managed to zone Situ away from the creeps that he was trying to farm. He's only sitting on the level 3 for now, so they're slowing him down quite a bit. He's only at the 10 last hits, as opposed to how is the OD doing? He's only at 6. So Mega Lomania doing a very good job down here at the bottom lane, leveling up the power shot. He already has the phase boots picked up. He's going to pick up a TP scroll, so he could participate in fights elsewhere on the map. Meanwhile, there is a ward placed at the top for the Azure guys. I'm definitely expecting some ganks out of Sidhu once he picks up that lasso. Like you said in the draft, as soon as he gets his ultimate, a kill will probably happen somewhere. And I can imagine they're ready to try and stop this gyro farming at the moment. He's 2 behind the Windrunner, and Timbersaw doing very good for himself as well, who is... I keep thinking his name is you something because of the dots, but I think it's just you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just you, but well, we'll get that soon. But we do have another pull coming off in top lane. You have a look at this. Gyrocopter's picked up his phase boots. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be wanting to farm up these creeps as much as he can as well. Naga's here as well, wanting to get a little bit of experience, wanting to get a little bit of farm as well from this point. But it does look like they're going to be cleaning up that creep wave right now. Invoker still struggling to get those last hits here. Does only have 6 right now. We're up to minute 6 in this game. So he's really not getting as much as he really wants to go over to the Gyrocopter. He's got 11 deny, so he's keeping that Invoker down in levels just enough. Invoker only sitting level 5, Gyrocopter sitting in level 5 as well, but Gyro's been sharing a lot of this experience with the supports as well. So Invoker really, I think, wants to try and get up some sort of phase boost, give himself a bit more right-click damage. Or else he's not going to get much in this game at all. But we do have a rotation coming up here as well. Another pull coming down onto this lane. Does look like Nugget's going to be coming in there, uses the Riptide to clean up the last creep, and they're still going to be able to get all of these creeps that are down here. We have a look at this. We do have Gyro jumping in right now, trying to jump down on this Invoker. Invoker does have enough to get a cold snap. There we go. He does go in Viz right now. And it looks like Crystal Maiden in a lot of trouble. Visage will pick that up. Naga also now in quite a lot of trouble and will be going down as well. Being split that time between the Invoker and the Visage. So 2 for 1 up on that top lane. Not a great trade, but now it's made 3 for 1 with the help of Kunkka down on that bottom lane. Windrunner has picked herself up a kill as well. So a 3 for 1 trade all over the map. Not a good trade going there for Young Money Club.
No, that was very well done by Azure at the top lane. Invoker drawing their fire as long as he could and then going invisible. And they managed to take down the Crystal Maiden. Citrus the Great going down in the end, but they did pick up another kill. I believe Gyro was the one to walk away with the kill there. He was indeed. He's now got the Helm of Iron Will. And nice roam from Narcotic down at the bottom lane. I'm not sure if he used a rune at all. I think he may have activated a haste rune. No, he bottled a double damage rune. So that definitely coming out to help them there, Rags. I'm going to look at the net worth. So Gyro's 3,300, Timbersaw 3,000, and the Windrunner and the Kunks at 28 and 2,300 apiece. As Yu is going to jump on top of Narcotic, is going to blow the illusions, instantly taken down by the Chakram, and I think Narcotic's going to go down here. He does end up going down to the Whirling Death, so nice pick off from the YMC guys, and the pause goes out. Don't know if there managed to be an assist picked up. It looks like no, that was a solo kill for you. So it's going to be pretty happy with that one. I don't believe Kunks is going to buy back, and yeah, so it's very back and forth so far, Rags.
Yeah, there's no need for buybacks this early anymore. I mean, Kunka's got 24 seconds. Even if he did buy back and teleport down into the lane, he's not going to be able to farm up any reliable gold with the changes that happen to buyback. So he's just going to have to wait it out right now. Batrider, we're going to keep an eye on him. He has managed to pick himself up and earn. It looks like he wants to go ganking around. And he's sort of got himself another 428 gold right now. So most likely going to be going into that Blink Dagger next. He is halfway to around about a third of the way to level 6. So that lasso should be coming up very, very shortly, and we might see a few more rotations coming out from that Bat Rider. But Mana Boots go off from Timbersaw. Ward goes down, watching the Roshan pit as well as that bottom rune. And yeah, it looks like we're having movements coming down onto this Windrunner right now. She's in a lot of trouble right at this point. Pops the buckler, but it's not going to be enough. She is going to get cleaned up by the Timbersaw down there. The net comes out from Naga, holds her in place. And that's 4 people sitting down on that bottom lane to gank up one Windrunner. In the meantime, though, they are giving a little extra space to this Invoker. So Invoker finally going to be able to get a little bit of farm. And it looks like he's going for a hand of Midas.
Okay, it could potentially be Power Treads, although I think you might be right with the minus because he's sitting
They would have bought Power Treads by now.
Yeah, he's sitting at 800 plus gold, so probably going to be going for the Midas, which will definitely help him in the gold. We'll have a look at the net worth. He's 2100, so he's doing okay for himself. He'll definitely be doing better with this space, but we'll have to see if any plays can be made. At the bottom lane is used, going to Timber Chain under the tower. X marks the spot, going to return him back to where he was. He's going to get knocked by the Firefly. Ghost Ship going to come in, not do too much. He's going to Timber Chain his way out of there as Gyrocopter going to do the call down. Juljan going to fall very low, but he does manage to get out as Gyro going to pick up a kill. Double kill for K Feeney on the Gyro, and the Azure guys force back 2-0 in Young Money Club's favour, and they've got all their members at the bottom lane to continue the push. As very well played by them, Rags. Looks like they may not be done. OD running forward, played by Eminem, but not going to do too much with it. He's getting closer to his mechanism. Miggle waiting in the trees here, off to the side. He's going to throw out the EMP, which isn't going to do too much of anything as Eminem is continuing to zone him out. Narcotic is there on the Kunks. Tornado going to come through, do a lot of damage to both the creeps and the heroes, and it looks like Bat Rider may be in to try and do some cleanup, but he is going to be imprisoned out. Kunks going to get the kill. I think that was a cleave with Tidebringer. Very well done there.
Big cleave with Tidebringer. One last right click from the Invoker as well as the cleave from Tidebringer. That is level 4 already. So he gets 60 bonus damage, and the radius for cleave is 600. So massive amounts of damage at long range can come through right about now. Crystal Maiden looks like she's getting away with a little bit of help. Timbersaw, no more mana left. So Bat Rider's going to be coming through. He's going to be cleaning up the rest of these creeps. He is level 7 now. And we didn't see a lasso in that last fight from the Bat Rider, which was a little surprising. He was on top of the Timbersaw about 4 times and still didn't use it. But Invoker now picking up that hand of Midas. And this is for him to get levels. This isn't really for him to be able to get gold for himself. This is for levels. Invoker depends so much on his levels, getting those points up in his Wex, in his Quas, in his Exhort, just to give him the strength, the HP regen, and everything else, just so he's able to walk around the map with his abilities at full
up
strength.
at the top lane, Jewel going to eat all of Kunk's abilities to the face, going to manage to dodge the Ghost Ship. Crystal Nova going to go out from an Honor to Fight Me, and Narcotic going to be successfully deflected by the YMC guys. I was going to point out the warding for Azure is pretty damn good. Yu's going to run up invisible, and I think the reason we didn't see a lasso raise is because Sidhu was very low right from the start of the fight, and it didn't get much better for him. So I think he valued not giving the gold over using that ability, so he'll be looking to use it as soon as he can. As the invisible Timbersaw, played by Yu, continuing to run around hunting Situ in his own jungle. He will come across him now. Will he decide to go for it? He does indeed. Timber Chain going to go out. Chakram and Whirling Death. Nice Firefly from the Situ. No, not Firefly. Flame Break. Will he be able to get out? It looks like he's going to try and turn it around with the help of Visage and Invoker. Teleport going to come in. Does get stunned up, and he's going to dodge the second bit of Chakram, which will allow him to survive. And Narcotic going to pick that one up for himself. 2-2-1 on the Kunks. That was a very good reaction from the Azure guys.
Yeah, as strong as Timbersaw is in the early game when he gets those levels up, all that pure damage, he's not strong enough to be able to dive even that far. And I think he just got a little bit greedy there, trying to take out that Bat Rider. He knew support was going to be coming in as quickly as possible. He knew that the lasso was up because he hasn't seen it used in any other fight so far. So a little unfortunate there by Timbersaw, just a bit of a mistake, and giving Bat Rider the chance to get a couple of urn charges up and giving Kunker another kill. And Kunker's not really someone you want to be able to giving kills to. He has got himself up an Ogre Club right now, so he's not going that standard Shadow Blade into Daedalus style Kunker build. it might be a very early BKB just so he can survive through most of these team fights.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely fair enough. I mean, between the Crystal Maiden and the Naga Siren, there's tons of lockdown there. I'm not sure if it prevents the Astral Imprisonment from OD. I would imagine it does.
It does.
Yep, so that'll be very handy for him to be able to ignore. So I'll have another look at the last hit. Still not doing the best is Miggles, but like you said, Rags, he's going to be catching up in the hero level. I'll quickly bring that one up. He's at level 9, which is the highest in the game, which he shares with quite a few others. So
down
definitely
on bottom lane, just quickly, we're just going to have a quick look. It looks like Kunkka is down here. He's going down on as many people as he can. He is in a lot of trouble. He will be picked up by Timbersaw, but the TPs have come down, and it looks like Kfini will be picked up by the lasso there. He will be going down. Great tornado by the Invoker right now. The EMP is going to do some big amounts of damage. Urn Charge goes down. 3-for-1 trade on that bottom lane. Gyro, Crystal Maiden, Timbersaw, all for the single Kunkka. So not a great trade coming out by Young Money Club right there. And it looks like just getting away was the Naga Siren by the skin of her teeth. Does have herself up some Tranquil Boots. Regenning that health as quickly as she can, and just with that bonus movement speed's able to get out of there quite quickly. But does look like Invoker now has himself up some phase boots, so with that Wex as well as the phase boots, he's going to be hitting quite hard and moving incredibly quick around the map. I remember I saw an Invoker that had Yules, Sanjin Yasha, phase boots, max Wex, and he was just moving so ridiculously quick. It was not funny. Just how quick he was actually moving across the map. It was ridiculous. Who needs a TP scroll when you can move that quick? But it does look like we're going back into the middle lane. Batrider has just managed to make his way up there. The Chakram will go out. He's going to be cutting down tree. He has been netted down. He's going to be in a lot of trouble there trying to move in. But this will be a tier 1 tower coming down on this lane. The Stomps do come out right now from it. 2 illusions of Invoker just trying to beat down as much as they can on him. But it does look like these Familiars, the Familiars should be able to get out. No, Visage is just going to resummon them. And this push will keep going, maybe? Yeah, it looks like they're going to keep trying to push down onto the tier 2 tower, and they're moving up into a position, hopefully to try and gank off someone, maybe sitting up on that high ground. They do have a ward up there right now. Power shot comes through, EMP is going to go out, this is going to ward them off, and they don't think they're going to be going anymore on this tower. It's time to back off, and... or not, they're just going to hang around and keep trying to push in this tower. You know, just ignore everything I say, it's all good.
Yeah, they're determined to prove us wrong, I guess. So, as far as pieces of infrastructure go, the only tier 1 remaining for Azure is at the top, and it's looking quite unhealthy. It looks like the YMC guy's going to rotate up there. I really like that reaction from Azure at the bottom lane, which allowed them, if we look at the gold earned, it was only at 200. It's now spiked up to almost 1,000 in XP, and definitely in Azure's favor. And against a Naga Siren, having an XP advantage will definitely be in their favor, allowing them to kind of be strong enough to react once they get out of that spell. So the defense is going to come from Azure at the top lane, and wondering if it's going to be successful here, Rags.
Yeah, well, you do have that Invoker who does have Tornado EMP, keeps them up in the air, can get them to go down. We do have a rocket going out. It will be cut off before it gets to the Kunkka. And it looks like they're going to try and siege right now on this lane, but they've got to remember those Familiars quite deadly in their own right. They are starting with, 66 damage per shot, and it goes down by 1 or 2, I'm pretty sure, for every shot they let out. So it's going to be quite hard for these guys. We do see another rocket coming out right now. It is going on top of the Invoker. It will be cut off again before it gets anywhere near the hero. These rockets aren't quite wrecking, but here we go. We do have an X marks the spot on the gyrocopter. He will be throwing it up in the air. The boat will come out as well. Visage just going to try and make it out there. He will. The Urn Charge keeping him alive right now. We do see the ultimate coming out from OD, and Timbersaw is now caught underneath the tower. He will be going down to the Batrider. There we go, Deafening Blast coming out, so we know he definitely has one, but there goes the Naga ulti right now, just to try and reset this team fight. She can't TP herself out. She's getting actually beaten down right now by these Familiars. They do have another stomp up very shortly, and it does look like Outworld is going to be trying to get down here. No mana for a shackle, so there's no shackle shots going to be coming out of the Windrunner, and this will be turning around into a push on the tier 1 tower at top for Azure.
I have to say, that shackle shot from Megalomania on the Windrunner was absolutely fantastic. As soon as the Timbersaw jumped in, I think she got a huge shackle off on, I believe it was Outworld Devourer and Naga Siren, which allowed them to kind of turn that fight around, and the Song of the Siren was used much too late to do anything. So well done by Mega, I think, doing a lot to turn that around. Shackle's going to go down on Jewel after he gets a flame break. A nice tornado going to come out, going to CC them up. Timber Chain going to go off from the gyro. I don't think he managed to get anyone. The Visage going down in response for the two supports. Now the Kunk's going down as well. Sudu's going to try and fly his way out, but he cannot. Ends up being a double kill for Eminem on the Outworld Devourer, and that was much too greedy from Azure, wasting 3 of their lives for the 2 supports of YMC after picking up the tower.
They got the tower.
I think they could have backed off though.
Yeah, they probably could have backed off. They dived way too far past that tower. But they did manage to pick up the tower there. So it gives them that little bit of bonus gold boost. They did have the XP advantage. They still actually do, Azure do. And it does look like we have an Outworld here. He is going to get Grave Shield right now. It looks like he could be in a little bit of trouble. We do have a thing going down. Visage also in a lot of trouble. Here comes the pull down. It's going to land straight on him, but it's already too late. He's going to get killed off. Kunkka also in a little bit of trouble. He does manage to get the boat. It does go over the top of him, so he does have a lot more health. But damage reduction, but he will go down to the Timbersaw anyway. Batrider TPing in. Here comes the Windrunner as well. She will get netted up. She did force-staff her way in there. She's got a perfect shackle line right about now, but she's not going to use it, as she will get cleaned out by the Outworld Destroyer. And this is just bad play coming from Azure right now. They are all just TPing in one at a time to their death. Instantly, and this is going to cost them their top tower as well. And it does look like Batrider could be in a little bit of trouble as well. This OD's hitting quite hard. Has himself up a mech. He is going to get force-staffed out right now by the Invoker, but the Invoker's just going to be quite fine. Lets off a tornado, but he will just clean up this rocket before it gets anywhere near that Batrider to kill him off. And it does look like they can keep going on a push down here on this tier 2 tower on the top lane.
Okay, Blink Dagger has been picked up by the Batrider. I'm not sure if it'll make a difference if they keep running in one by one like they have been. A Citrus the Great almost gets caught out by Jewel, and an Honor to fight me, but he will back off in the end. Top tower going to take some damage as the Iron Branch sits next to it. Narcotic going to be up to clean that out, and YMC going to take the smart option and back out with their advantages. It was in Azure's favor until all of those shenanigans went down, and now it's over 2,000 into Young Money Club's favor after taking down the tower and several of their opponents. I'm not sure if that was a smoke coming out or not from the Batrider. It was indeed a smoke of deceit, but I don't think he's going to be able to make any picks at the moment, as Mega going to go down to the bottom lane, could potentially be picked off by Jewel and Eminem on the Outward Devourer, who has picked himself up a mechanism and a force staff. Still has 1,100 gold on his person from all of the kills he managed to pick up. And I don't know if Mega's going to be in trouble here. He does have the win run. Going to be Astral imprisoned up. OD is not going to go in, it looks like, as for stuff TP goes out from Mega to get out of there. And the counter push going to go on from Azure.
Yeah, they're just going to come back down. They're going to push back out their lane. I mean, Outworld Devourer now has max in Astral Imprisonment, max in Essence Aura, and he's got 3 points in his Arcane Orb. So he's hitting quite hard with that Arcane Orb right now. Mana pool damage is up at 8%. Plus 300 for the illusion damage. So, I mean, he's hitting quite hard. He does have himself up that mechanism. He does have himself force staff. The recent changes to him where items don't actually proc anymore the essence aura. So, he's he wasn't going the mech or the buckler build to do that. It's just mainly for his team fights, and so his teams can survive and fight quite well. But we do have this Timbersaw. He's the biggest issue right now. He does have himself up that Bloodstone, as well as having himself some boots of speed. He is probably going to upgrade those boots very shortly. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually went into boots of travel, if he managed to pick up some boots of travel. So he's going to be always at the fights no matter what, as long as they're not on cooldown. But Kunkka, this is the man we've got to watch, and this is the man that we need to worry about for the other side. He does have himself that Ogre Club still. That's still all he's got, but he's got 2,000 in the bank right now. No bonus damage items for the time being, so he's not actually going to be hitting any hard at all. for the time being. He does have some nice cleave damage, but that's about all he has.
Yeah, we saw him get exploded in the last fight. Smoker to see going to be popped by YMC. Going to see if they can make a catch. They are passing close to Situ.
Oh.
Although Phase Boots are going to get him out of there. Miggle going to be run up to by the Crystal Maiden. Another 4-star goes out. Nice tornado to get away. Timber Chain's going to go off from you. Chakram goes out. Not going to do much. And Miggles, you talked about the movement speed race. He's sprinting away at the moment. Although the Timber Chain is going to land close to him now. The Whirling, the Whirling Death going to go out. But Miggles, he's sprinting out with the Phase Boots and he could be escaping. Meanwhile, the Naga Siren Jewel going to be picked up there. She did have her ultimate still available, so that is a big cooldown for YMC not utilized. The Astral Imprisonment going to go off on Sidhu, who does have the lasso available still. As the fight going to continue there, Use pop the reactive armor. Going to have the Chakram going out now, and Honor to Fight Me could be jumped on now. Sidhu going to be force stuffed forward, can't get the lasso off, and X marks the spot, going to return the Crystal Maiden there. Invoker going to pick that one up as the call down going to come out from Gyro. A lot of damage going down onto Citrus the Great on Visage. Outward Devour going to pick up Situ. Auto attack goes out and picks up the Invoker for another kill. Mega sprinting his way out with the Rin Run, looking very at the moment. And K Feeney going to pick up a double kill on the Gyro on top of the Kunkka. So ends up being I think it was a 2 for 4 in YMC's favor. So definitely not what Azure were looking for there.
Yeah, Azure basically, I think they overextended. Like, they had 2 heroes that were basically chasing the Invoker down, and all they did was keep chasing, while the rest of the team was basically well out of position. And it gave the chance for the Windrunner to go in, pick up a kill. They managed to pick up another one on the Crystal Maiden, but they should have just backed off when they picked up that one kill, because YMC were trying to back themselves out. They chased down too far, which gave YMC the chance to basically turn around and reset themselves, get themselves back into a good position, and then take the fight straight back once again. So a little unfortunate there for these guys. That's not exactly what they really wanted to happen, but what can you do? I mean, the Azure are just a little bit behind right now. I mean, you have a look, it's only 5 kills. Experience-wise, they're 4,000 experience behind, just over 4,000 gold behind as well. So, in relative terms, for like 20 minutes into the game, from most games we've seen, it's still reasonably close. But, yeah, it's going to be hard, especially coming back against a team like YMC.
Yeah, Azure really need to, once they get an advantage, they need to have better judgment on when to back off and when to pursue it, because they're overcommitting much too much. Looks like they want to try and make a pick with the Smoke of Deceit. K Feeney is by himself for the moment. Familiars are going to get a pull off on him as a blink forward from Sidhu. Going to pull Feeney over the cliff, and I can't see him getting out of this one. He's popped the BKB, and Naga Siren Song going to save him for now as Chakram goes off. This being turned around completely by the YMC guys. Double kill from the OD, as well as Timbersaw picking one up for himself as the U is following with the rest of his team behind. That was a fantastic Naga Siren Song coming out from Juljan, as U's going to pick up a double kill, going to get shackled to the tree, but the damage has been done. 4 for 0 in YMC's favor, and that was almost a nice play for Azure, but the reaction from Jewel was just way too good.
Yeah, the Naga Song of Siren there coming out from Naga was just way well timed. She just got herself into a good position that she could actually manage to get them all in the right time, save the Gyro's life, and just be able to beat down on, get the rest of the team in a good position to beat down on everyone. The only misplay from that entire thing that I saw was Naga left the song on a little too long while Gyro's cooldown was coming down, so it missed the first instant of damage to go out. But you have a look right now, they're well in front. They've got what is it? Nearly all the outer towers down. There's only 2 outer towers down. There's tier 2 up at top lane and bottom lane, both sitting there still, while they've still got all but 2 of their outer towers left. So it's a little unfortunate for these guys right now, but they really need to try and make some sort of play to get back into this game. Like, they really don't have the best of the team fight comps.
Yeah, I was thinking
compared to YMC.
Yeah, the pick off on K Feeney was almost perfect. I mean, it was a really nice blink forward from Situ on the Batrider, but I think K Feeney is a ticking time bomb at the moment. Like, it was almost really nice to try and pick him up before. Like, he's got the BKB, which he used at the perfect time in that fight to allow him to survive that last bit of burst. he's almost got the butterfly up, so not only is he going to be resistant to magic damage, but also to the auto attacks of the Kunks, and, well, the Windrunner hasn't really gone a right-click build, but going to be resistant to that as well. So K Feeney is starting to get even stronger. We'll have a look at what Yu is on. He's got the Pipe of Insight, so I feel like Azure have made a couple too many mistakes, and it's going to take some good outplaying as the missile.
Sorry, I just watched the Outward Devourer try and force staff in the mid lane, and Invoker just got him halfway through with the thing. But I did hear Sheepstick going off right now. What's the Outward Devourer going on there? Kunka picked off in an instant by the OD, just not being able to stand up to it. And this is the thing, Kunka's been shut down quite heavily. He's got himself up his Mithril Hammer. He's almost at that BKB, only 300 gold away. And I bet he can't absolutely wait until he's not going to be able to get hit by these orbs, as well as the Astral Imprisonment. All the Sanity's Eclipse coming out from this OD, plus all the damage that comes out from Timbersaw. He won't be taking any of that anymore because it's all magic, or pure damage, but it's not as in physical damage. It's not a mixture or anything like that, so he won't take any damage from those in the BKB form. So, you know.
Okay, looks
Good
like...
luck to him.
Well, he definitely needs to pick up an item. I mean, he has no completed items at the 28-minute mark when he had a solo lane to himself. Like, he really should have at least one item up by now. As Mega, he's going to have to... He does have a teleport scroll.
Ping's coming out. They know he's up here. The pings were coming out. They know he's up there. And the power shot's going to actually give him away right now. He does power shot down. The gyro knows where he is. Looks like, no, he's actually not. He's just going to keep walking away for the time being, and Mego is just going to actually walk straight out. He's going to power shot back down. Have a look at the creep wave, and there goes the pings right now. They know where he's hiding. He's going to be able to TP out. He saw the creeps. He saw them all turn around, and he's going to be able to get out of there by the skin of his teeth. Who was going back to get him? It was the OD.
I really like that play out of Azure. Actually, they were kind of being a magician there, keeping the eyes of YMC at the top while Miggle was pushing down on the bottom lane. He's got a massive creep wave with him, and he was pushing that entire time. Doesn't have the most right-click damage. He's starting to get some more points in the exhort, so we'll have to see if the top tower can survive this kind of split attention strategy of Azure. They can't really fight YMC directly on at the moment. BKB finally going to be picked up by the Kunks, who is Narcotic. Looks like the top tower will be falling. Flamebreak is going to go off, not do too much, and Sidhu going to fly his way out. He's down in the ravine at the moment, going to fly his way out before it runs out. It looks like OD, Eminem going to jump on top of Miggle, get the Scythe of Vice off. Nice tornado going to come out. EMP goes off. Astral Imprisonment going to go down, and it looks like both of these guys just going to back away from each other for now. So they successfully get the Outward Devourer out, and Snare going to go off on Jewel, but he is going to be lassoed by the Bat Rider, who did have X-Marks to spot him as well. Beautiful shackle shot onto Jewel, and that will be them down. Call down rocket from the gyro going to go off. Killing spree picked up by Feeney. He does have BKB pop. Narcotic has his own BKB pop, going to be ignoring the Timbersaw, and manages to run his way out of there, so that ends up being a 1-for-1 with both the supports going down. Really nice play out of Azure to get that out. If they weren't so behind, I feel like they would have got a lot more out of that. And it looks like Roche is on the table for the YMC guys. There is no vision for the red team apart from a ward that's up on the ledge. Oh, and there's a familiar there.
That one familiar
he was
just
hiding
flew in there and had a look and decided to have a look at what was going on. He's going to stomp down there in the Roche armpit right now. Going to fly his way back out of there, and they're all going to back off. They really don't want to try and fight down. They have a Firefly Bat Rider now hanging around here, having a look, and he's going to be jumping in. It looks like he wants to jump in on the Crystal Maiden, but he's not sure exactly what's going on there. Our OD destroys the tower up in top lane. It looks like this is just going to transfer into a push now, try and get a pick off and maybe go back into that Roshan pit, or they're just going to run back away and go into the Roshan pit.
Well, I guess they're giving a little bit of respect to the Azure guys, not going to try and YOLO into them, as they've got every piece of outer infrastructure down for Azure at the moment. Going to start on the Roshan. I believe Azure are aware because they have a ward up across, and of course there is a familiar in there who's going to go stone form down. The other familiar going to come in as well. The stun's going out as Tornado going to go off from Miggles. Gyro going to be killed. Looks like Roshan was killed by the Radiant. Naga Siren Song going to go out. Will lock up Citrus the Great. Call down Rocket going to go down as Sidhu was locked up before he could do much of anything. Ghost Ship going to pick up Jewel there as Timberchain going to go off from you. Is chasing Narcotic, and Miggles trying to run off to the side. Mega running down down the river. It looks like he's not going to be focused for now. Looks like they're actually chasing the Radiant out as Miggle's going to start farming up the jungle. Ends up being only Sidhu going down. He tried to make the play happen. Eminem could potentially go down here. No, it looks like they will be TPing out. So Roshan does go to the YMC guys who managed to pick up the Aegis. It was Kfini, and that is disastrous for Azure. Not only is he going to dodge them and be magic immune, he's also going to have to be killed twice. And his damage is so intense at the moment that he can farm 2 camps of ancients all at once with the flak cannon. I'm not sure what Azure can do at this point. Sidhu's been trying to make the plays with the Blink Lasso, but he just gets annihilated at the moment. It's the only item he has apart from Urn of Shadows, so he's not doing much damage and he's quite squishy. As Rag, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just randomly timed out for some reason. I was just going to quickly say, over the experience and goal graphs, you have a look and they're over 15,000, both in favour of Young Money Club right now. Gyro, as you were speaking of, he's almost got himself enough money to get up MKB, but he's not. He's actually going for a Satanic. He's got the recipe. He's only 40 gold away from picking up that Reaver as well. So he's going to be having the time of his life in team fights. He's going to be getting so much health back in the middle, especially when he's in BKB form. So even if they do jump on him now, he's going to be able to just beat down on whoever he wants. And there we go, back onto the Ancients. This is going to be all the gold he needs to finish up that thing. You have a look, the recipe's already on the courier right now. It's now being sent up to the secret shop, and they're just going to be going for a push now in the mid lane. We saw the big defenses, and there we go. We got OD right now. Sheeps up the Kunkka. Kunkka pops his BKB and runs away. Gives a smiley face as he gets away. Not going to be able to do too much right there.
Oh, Sidhu, I thought he wanted to do something. Looks like he's just going to blink towards his base. Timber Chain going to come out from you. And I noticed Azure there, they tried to use Mega as bait and they popped a Smoke of Deceit, probably to try and get some counter picking going off. But the YMC guys weren't really interested. They wanted to pick up that Satanic, which is now on Kfini, like you said, so he's going to be life draining the heck out of the Azure guys. I believe it was Azure who banned out. Yeah, that's a lot.
3.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Here you go. We have a look at this coming up right now. We see the pipe already popped off. The EMP is going to be going out again as well. And the pipe, to no real avail. The creeps just got instantly nuked down, even through that pipe. So there's a lot of split push coming out from Azure right now. And those familiars just getting beaten down right now. And we have a look over at the Visage. He does have himself a Medallion of Courage, Arcane Boots, but nowhere near that Aghanims we like to see Visages go, just so they have that extra familiar to beat down and do the extra stun coming down. But a Flame Break does come out. We do see a rocket going in. We see Kfini. He's going to be knocking down on that tower with the flat cannon, and the damage coming out from him just on the other heroes is absolutely ridiculous right now. And they can't even stand there. There's no way they can actually stand there. X-Marks is what will go out on top of the thing. And there we go. We do have a Shockle coming out. Some of the Sirens coming out right now, but Invoker managed to get that thing go down. And have a look at this Kfini. He's in a lot of trouble as well. He's very, very low on life. But there we go. We popped the Satanic. He's getting all of his health back right now. We do have a lasso come out from the Bat Rider, but this isn't going to stop them. Kfini just goes straight out and beats down on them instantly, and he's going to survive through the whole thing. Drum Charge will be popped by Naga, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Naga Siren, and they're jumping back into the middle tower, and this is going to be a middle racks. We do see the Tornado coming out right now. Net will go out right now on the Invoker. It looks like he's going to be going down as well. He's going to be trying to go through as much as he can, but Kfini's going to pick him up. Another great shackle shot by Mega, shackling up the Timber as well as the thing, but he's going to be in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to be beaten down. No, he's going to make it back to the base with a good mech charge coming out from him. Kfini's actually sending a rocket out on top of the Invoker. He will get hit by that. And the middle racks has gone down in the meantime with the OD as well as that Naga Siren and Crystal Maiden all there. And it does look like Visage decided to try and come out right now. He is going to get netted, sheeped up as well. That's the end of it. A big thing. Oh, Sanity Eclipse with a Refresher Orb goes down right now. And that will be the end of the Visage, as well as, oh, it's getting so close, but not quite getting there. The Tornado does come out by Miguel. He is not going to be able to pick up anyone with that, though, and this is basically the end of the game. They can't move out of their base or else they're going to get done. And well, actually gets lassoed and pulled back into the base, so it outsources himself in the base. Unfortunately, this is not going to be enough for him. Will he get out? He gets hit a couple of times, and we do have a look. There we go. He will go down to the Windrunner right now. Kunka, X marks the spot on top of that Naga. Misses the Torrent. Naga getting 4-staffed out of there as well. We do have quite a Shackle go out. Will not latch to anything. But Timbersaw coming in, trying to help out as well. And this is just not boding well. They're concentrating more on the fights rather than the GGs or, you know, anything else along those lines. But it does look like Visage is going to be in a lot of trouble as well right now. He is going to end up going down. The boat comes out. Boat will pick up onto Timbersaw, but Timbersaw way too tanky right now. Has boots of travel, has a plate mail as well as an Ogre's Club, and that pipe. So quite tanky hero right about now. Will get hit by that Torrent, shackled up to a tree. Will they finally be able to take him down? Yes, they will. We'll get it reclaimed. Kfini's Aegis is going to be reclaimed in a second. It will disappear right now. He is going to be in quite a bit of trouble. No, he's not. He's going to be quite fine. And here we go. We got the Timbersaw. He's coming out right now. We do have a cold snap going out onto you, but he's going to be fine. Walking through that Firefly, still taking the cold snap damage and not worrying about it whatsoever. But it does look like there's going to be a move onto the bottom racks. This will be going down now as well. And I have a funny feeling, unless Kunka manages to pick himself up a Divine Rapier right now and a Daedalus, there is no chance coming back in this game.
No, Yu's just running forward. He didn't pop the Bloodstone to Suicide. He's going to Timber Chain his way out, call down Rocket. Going to go out from Kfini. Yu's back in. He's so tanky though. He's going to be doing a lot of AoE damage. Still has the Bloodstone available. Not going to need to use it as Chakram. Going to obliterate Visage there. The Ghost Ship going to go forward onto Kfini. Familiars are banging down on him. OD's going to start attacking them. Familiars running off to the side of the base as a Bat Rider going to come in. He does have the lasso available. Invoker going to be taken down by the Crystal Maiden. Astral Imprisonment going to go off on the
Bat Rider will go down.
Yeah, on the Timber Chain. Bat Rider going to be Scythe of Vise, so sheep sticked. And it looks like the dive's continuing on. GG, well played. Finally called by Azure. I think they realize they can't really survive at this point in time. That was a great game from the Young Money Club. They continually responded perfectly to Azure's pressure, and they managed to take away game one.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, like, this just sort of was a close game for quite a while, but YMC just seemed to play a lot better throughout the game. A couple of mistakes going both ways. I mean, Young Money Club made their own mistakes, but it seemed that just the overextension of Azure was their downfall in this match. Young Money Club going 1-up in this series so far. We will be going into game 2 very, very shortly. I do have to give a shout out to Mega, even though he did lose the game. Great shackles there right throughout the game without any worries, any issues. It's just they couldn't capitalize on those two heroes being out for that long.
Okay, so we'll have to nominate an MVP before we jump into game 2. Who are you thinking, Rags?
Oh, do I have to?
Yes.
Really? Let's just go with the Timbersaw. Why the hell not?
Yeah, fair enough. Even though he didn't use the Bloodstone at the end, he had 18 stacks on it. Didn't decide to use it, but thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be jumping into game 2 to see if this is a 2-0 sweep or if Azure have something up their sleeves to equal out the best of 3 series. Myself and Rags are from GameStar, which you can head on over to our Facebook, and we do casts all the time. So let's get into game 2, Rags. This is Coldblood and Rags signing out for now.